right now, this is what I like to call a stall comp. Imagine it like this. So this team's hold is like +5. Like, they have very, very good site holds. And like virtual points, their hold potential is +5. But if they are very strong in one area, they're going to be very weak in another. So their retake is like -3, I'd say at this point. And this is pretty massive. So what you want to be doing is you want to be forcing them into situations where they're going to be having to do this and not where they're giving them an easy time to do this. And by going all 5 in hookah here, you are essentially inviting them to util dump you, and then from there just to pick you off one by one. 3v5, round is in checkmate right now. At this point, you've already lost the round. Have you ever wanted to see this? But instead, you're just stuck looking at this. Hi, my name is Berate. I'm a Radiant coach, and if you want to get coached absolutely free of charge, join my Discord server, read the VOD submission rules, submit a VOD for me to review, and I will get to it as soon as I can and turn it into a video giving you detailed notes along the way. Enjoy the video. Alright, Jett Diamond 2 Bind. Just looking at tracker here, damage per round is really good. KD is phenomenal. Headshot percentage is like chef's kiss. Win percent good. So at this rate, just based off of these stats alone, if you keep playing the game, you will climb. But I guess we'll see if there are any tips. So you're routing hookah here on bind, but you have 5 people in hookah. There is a pretty major problem with that. And that is you don't have any long control. And on pistol round, it isn't that like colossal of an issue, but it is still an issue nonetheless. And here's the reason why. So here is how the bind mini game works. The bind mini game. Number 1, find out where the sentinel is. In this case, it is their cypher. But because they also have a viper on their team, then I would treat this viper as a sentinel as well. I have said this multiple times in many videos. Viper is not a controller. This enemy team has no smokes right now. Absolutely no smokes. This team is running a double sentinel comp. So right now you need to find out where the cypher is and where the viper is. You need to go where the cypher isn't, and that's where step 2 comes in. Step 2 is you want to be splitting the opposite side. Reason for that is you don't want to be pushing into a sentinel on bind. There's so many wall bangs on this map. It's such a close quarters map, and you're asking to get util dumps if you get hit by a sentinel trip. So they have a chamber, but chamber doesn't have any hard tripwires. They have a viper. She doesn't have any hard tripwires either, but she has a lot of stall utility. So that's going to be your util dump along with the raise nades. The sentinel that you have to worry about right now is this bald man right here is going to single-handedly stop your push. Now, there is one exception though. On pistol round. On pistol round, you are allowed to go any site you want. Why is that? Because oftentimes on pistol round, this guy right here is going to be getting a ghost, 1 trip, and 1 cage. 1 trip means he's only going to be able to trip off one of the lanes. And that is where we're going back to step 2. You want to be splitting the site. You should never be 5-manning 1 lane on bind, and I never want to see you 5-man 1 lane on bind ever again. So right now, you are duoed right now. And I think that I saw that you are duoed with the gecko, right? You and your gecko should have noticed that these goobers that we call solo queue teammates, these 3 goobers right here are idiots. They don't know how to play bind. They don't know how to play the map. So what you should have done is you should have realized that they are making a massive mistake by 5-manning a single lane, and you 2 should have gone long. And there's 2 very specific reasons for that. Reason number 1, you want to stop them from pushing out and getting fast flanks. People love to push out on bind, and if you're not taking this space, all of this area in yellow is a massive unknown where they could flank you and get a really cheese timing on you and just shoot you in the back. Number 2, this is pistol round right now, and this Cypher oftentimes is only going to have a trip for one of the lanes. So if you split, then you can just break the Cypher trip without having to worry about it if you go. So if that makes sense, you always want to be splitting on bind. I would say whenever possible, but there really shouldn't be a time where you wouldn't be able to split on bind. So Cypher has the cam there. Yeah, good. And there's that util dump I was talking about. Right now, all of you are grouped up in hookah. And if you were to try to go back and re-clear long right now, it would be very, very, very awkward for your team. So imagine right now if you had 3 long, 2 hookah. Definitely you would have had an easier time fighting the back site guys because they would have been focused hookah. And as they're util dumping, you could probably peek out from long and then probably get a free kill on someone swinging out. Just because I doubt that they're gonna have like a lot of people holding long, especially on pistol round. It looks like they're playing back here right now. This is what I like to call a stall comp, and how a stall comp works on defense is you need to play to bait out utility, and you need to be splitting, faking, doubling back, over rotating, just to make it so that they waste all of their stall utility so that they have nothing for retake. So imagine like this. So their site hold, so this team's hold is like +5. Like they have very, very good site holds, and like virtual points, their hold potential is +5. But if they are very strong in one area, they're going to be very weak in another. So their retake is like -3, I'd say at this point. And this is pretty massive. So what you want to be doing is you want to be forcing them into situations where they're going to be having to do this and not where they're giving them an easy time to do this. And by going all 5 in hookah here, you are essentially inviting them to util dump you, and then from there just to pick you off one by one. 3v5, round is in checkmate right now. At this point, you've already lost the round at this point. So I'm going to skip ahead. Yep, you already lose the round. You get flawless, in fact. And it's because of a mistake that you made earlier in the round, is you didn't hit fast enough and you didn't split the site. So there are 2 ways to go against stall heavy comps, and I'm gonna just number 1, bait out utility and throw a lot of fakes. Number 2, hit so fast that they can't react. So hit fast. There is a caveat to the hit fast one. Hit fast on the non-site. This is very important. Hit fast on the non-sentinel site, because you do not want to be running into trips, because you're going to be running into stall utility no matter where you push. And you don't want to be full sending it into a Cypher tripwire setup and get yourself sprayed through like a smoke or a Cypher cage. So you want to bait out utility and throw a lot of fakes, cut noise, double back, etc. when you're up against the sentinel site, or you're going to hit really fast on the non-sentinel site. And by sentinel site, I mean the site with the hard tripwires on it. I'm talking KJ mollies, I'm talking like alarm bot, KJ turret, Cypher trips, deadlock trips, anything that can halt you. And if you get caught out by it, you are pretty much guaranteed to be dead. I don't count a chamber trip as being that, because chamber's trip just applies a slow. It doesn't like give you a disadvantage in a fight. It doesn't disorient you, blind you, or otherwise make you incapable of fighting back. I don't count a sage slow as that. A Grimwall might be what I would consider it, but even then, you just have to flick upwards. So here's how to deal with the stall heavy comps that you see a lot in solo queue, where they're just going to be util dumping you like right off the rip. So this is the way that I like to deal with those. Stop. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to subscribe. Thanks. When you are on any type of duelist, always make sure that you're either 1, in a position to get traded, or 2, in a position to trade someone else. And this is the one that you want to gravitate towards a lot on duelist, especially if you're playing Jett. Jett has this lovely little thing known as a Jett dash, which is basically the get out of jail free card of Valorant. And if you get yourself in a sticky situation, you play aggressive, you get one, you dash out. Even if you don't get one, you just get to dash out. Same rule as before. Same rule as before. Your Omen is left alone in showers without a trade. Now, it is kind of on this Omen to call, Ayo, can I get someone to help me showers? If I get domed, I'm not going to get traded. But I'm not reviewing this Omen. I'm reviewing you. He should have called for one of his teammates to come with him. However, it is on you as the duelist player to be proactive and to basically bodyguard your teammates. So, okay. Imagine it like this. Imagine this. If you're on a duelist, you are the Secret Service. You are the one rushing in first for your team and taking space, but you're also the bodyguard of the people who actually have the important utility. Because I'm gonna be completely honest, Jett's utility in and of itself is not very good. It doesn't like necessarily help a sight hit or make it more awkward for the defenders, except for the one exception of your smoke dashing into your smoke. But even then, that has to be paired with your teammates flooding out behind you. So you have two jobs as a duelist. Number one, entry sight and take space first. Notice how first is in all caps. You should be the first one on site. Reason for that is you have the movement ability, you get to take the space, and then your teammates get to capitalize and follow up on that space that you made. Number two, you are a bodyguard for the important utility, mainly controllers and initiators on attack, that can help you in your sight hit. Reason for that is you want to be keeping them alive as long as you possibly can. Why is that? As soon as you get the bomb down, they're the ones that have all the post-plant utility. You have your Omen that can blind. You have your Gecko that can molly and flash off tap and concuss off tap and use Wingman to plant, etc. They have the important utility. Those are the VIPs, and you're basically playing Get Down, Mr. President, with the people on your team that have all of the good utility. And if you are the one with the good utility, you should be going second. So right now I'd be saying this Yoru should be playing a bit more passive, because this Yoru has a hard flash. So immediately here I'm noticing a problem. You're not having a big enough ego when you're playing Jett. So when you're on defense, here is my defensive checklist that you need to be doing. This is a concept that called 1, 2, 3 angles. This is the case for any agent with a get out of jail free card. I'm talking Jett dash, I'm talking Yoru TP, I'm talking chamber TP, I'm talking even hecking like Ray satcheling yourself out of something and doing a pseudo Jett dash. Anything that lets you escape from a fight, this is the checklist that you want to be doing at the start of rounds. And right now you've already skipped to step 2, which is playing an aggressive off angle, which is fine, but you're neglecting step 1, which is peek something and then get ready to no. You have a sheriff, my guy. There is absolutely no reason why you should be rushing your shots here. Just because of the fact that you have a sheriff and on pistol round, 1 tap to the head at any range. And honestly, at this point, I think I've given you quite a bit of notes to work on. So definitely work on these, and you will become a much better Jett player. Just overall, you'll become a much better player overall. But yeah, that is it for me. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. If you'd like to get your VOD reviewed, then join the Discord server down below. And if you enjoy the style of content and want to see more exactly like it, subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out some of my previous videos where I have reviewed all agents of all types of all maps and given them detailed notes along the way. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. My goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if y'all could help me get there, that would be wonderful. And I've said with that being said 3 times, but bye-bye.